Got milk? Got water?
Ho ho, what's up everybody? Coming at you with week 33 of 2016, which is aka week 2 of cycle 6. And I'm starting off the week with 212.5 on the pause bench, no problem. Had some good news to actually report. It's a non-injury report. A couple weeks back, I think it was the first week of taper, it was the Sunday workout that week, and I had unracked 135 for one of my squat warm-ups, and basically when I did that right there, just stood up with it, there was a loud pop from my lower abdomen, and my first thought of course was, oh no, that's probably another hernia, because there's probably some other organ that's like, I'm out this piece. And so I was worried about that, but as you guys know, I was able to do the workouts for the most part with no trouble. The only thing I had to drop was my lower abdominal work and some of the stretches that I had to do, or that I like to do, I should say. And so I just, laid off of those for a few weeks, and as of now, it's getting better. But I actually went to the doctor to have it checked out to check if it was indeed a hernia. And the doc was like, I don't know what you did, but that's not a hernia. So I was like, yes, that's such great news. Yeah, so this week moved up to 23 working reps on my volume work for the strength days of the week, which are Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Doing 3 sets of 5 and then 2 sets of 4. And for the next couple weeks, we'll be pushing that up towards 4 sets of 5, 1 set of 4, or 1 set of 4. And then finally 5 sets of 5 for 25 reps. After that, I think we'll go back to 2 sets of 5 and then 4 sets of 4, and then we'll start working towards a total of 6 sets of 5. I really like that progression method because it's easy mentally, because you can just say, hey, all I got to do this week is 1 more rep than last week, and I killed last week, so no problem. Oh, one thing I think I mentioned last week was that I was pretty sore, and that was actually for the first time in quite a while. That was actually by design, because I had been reading about a workout routine called hypertrophy-specific training, and for those of you who don't know, hypertrophy is just a tricky word for making your muscles bigger. It's kind of like the opposite of atrophy, which is where they get smaller. And they actually recommend taking 2 weeks completely off. And I think their schedule was like 6 or 8 weeks on and then 2 weeks completely off. And the idea is actually to undo the tolerance that you build up, each training cycle, so that you can actually cause muscle damage again. Because as you build up a tolerance to the workload, and I've experienced this myself, you just don't get sore anymore. Basically this week, not much soreness at all. And so the idea is that they think hypertrophy is actually related to the total amount of muscle damage you cause, and when you build a tolerance to the workload, you basically stop damaging the muscles. So I was like, oh, that's kind of interesting. So I think I'm going to stick with the 5 weeks on, 2 weeks of Yates taper style stuff, because I can't see myself taking 2 weeks completely off. It's like the workouts are just too important for my mental health to go 2 weeks without it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure if you guys can actually tell what music I have on in the background, on a regular basis. But this week, in honor of Ryan Lochte being a gigantic moron, the music choice has been Sepultura, which I have not listened to in quite a while, but I'm enjoying immensely, because I was like, oh yeah, this is really good. You tend to forget these things. I'm like, man, Ryan Lochte, if you would just listen to Sepultura, you would have known. Don't be a moron in Brazil. Dun dun. Oh yeah, so continuing the deadlift conversation from last week, I started rolling down my working weights and daily maxes on the deadlifts this week, and I believe that what I've done this week has actually destroyed my elbows even worse than usual. So we're actually going to possibly roll them down the deadlifts, I mean, even more next week, until we can get these like old broken elbows to like work better, because man, that golfer's elbow is just like vicious in both arms. Yeah, so actually forgot to mention earlier when I mentioned that I had to drop lower abs out of my ab routine when my lower abdomen was hurting after the epic pop. I didn't mention that I was able to double up my upper ab work kind of as a compensatory measure, so that was actually kind of good, and we were able to continue working the El Reyes abs. Yeah, so that was good. So it wasn't a complete, loss of ab work, so that was nice. But pretty soon we're going to restart doing lower abs because, like I said, things are feeling quite a bit better. And oh, by the way, it's hump day! Oh, yeah. Big cats, big squats. Here we go with daily max on hump day of 317.5. And this moved pretty well, I thought. And that is excellent. Here's something I'm learning as I'm aging. I don't think pain ever actually goes away. I think it just migrates to different locations in the body. For example, earlier this year, I had a pec hurting me, and then a shoulder was kind of giving me some trouble, and then my knees were kind of bugging me, and then my low back was sort of bugging me, and I don't think I've had no pain, but it's always just been one thing heals up and then something else is giving me trouble. So I think that's just aging in a nutshell. It's really defined by more and consistent pain. The thing with the elbows though, those have been hurting since like 2010, I think, because I think I went for therapy back then, which I think worked on a temporary basis, but in the end, probably the only thing that really would have worked is to stop lifting and being active, which is, yeah, that's just not an option, you know what I'm saying? So, it's just kind of a thing where you just got to figure out how to deal with it and, make the best of it. So with that, guys, I think that's pretty much going to be it for this week. Volume was good this week. Chin-ups are on point, and diet was a little crazy, but we actually only gained a little bit of weight. So we're gonna end with mother, the Dodeca mother. Oh yeah, you guys take care. And as mentioned, the volume update for week 33, as compared to week 32, we are up another 2,500 pounds-ish for a new weekly PR volume record of 157,800-ish. And for the year, we've gone over 4 million pounds. It's a lot of pounds. And the 2016 goals update, another pretty standard week in the life. 10K chin-ups were at 6810. And the diet update for the week. Numbers are a little off because there was definitely some estimating going on this week with some random deliciousness that was appearing. But that's kind of the good part of trying to become obese, right? Errors are actually good when they're to the upside. So that's going to do it for this week, guys. Hope you liked it, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.